ठीक है, और प्राइमरी लैंड मासेस. Original land masses or primary land masses are considered to be the first land masses that are formed on the earth. ठीक है, they are none other than cratons. ठीक है, a craton has two major landforms, that is platforms and shields. So look here, imagine this was the primordial earth. The primordial earth was full of volcanism, right? We had volcanoes all over the earth. Over a period of time, these volcanoes got extinct. Why did they extinct, or what is the use of that volcano? The major purpose of the volcano is to release the heat that is there on the earth. In fact, volcanoes are helping us to release the excess heat which is there on the earth. Had if volcanoes were not there, our earth would have been blasted. ठीक है, so volcanoes are a good entity in distribution of the heat. So initially the volcanoes which were there, if suppose the material is coming out, the material which came out of the volcano, it started to flow in either directions. ठीक है, in either directions you got to see the flow of this volcanic material. Now don't you think that this is the primary material which came from the interior of the earth and then it started to deposit on the surface? Over a period of time, wind came, rainfall happened, sun rays, day, night, animals, birds, species, trees, you name a phenomena you can see on the surface of the earth, right? Now such kind of landforms are called as the original landforms. Like this, each and every volcano or a series of volcanoes, don't just imagine one volcano, it can be thousands of volcanoes which were present at one single place. That means there were multiple dome-like structures which are formed on the earth. Can I call like this? Right? In this manner, you also see the volcanic material. See, don't just imagine one single volcano. Try to imagine that thousands of volcanoes. For your understanding, what I'll do is, let's go to this place. Here there could be thousands of small volcanoes which can be there. ठीक है? Yes. सबसे पहले, I am talking even before the formation of the atmosphere of the earth. I am talking about the primordial days, when the earth was hot like a hot ball. So here the landforms started to form. Now these landforms, the volcano started to erupt and it flowed on either side, right? So over a period of time, there are lakhs and lakhs of volcanic activity, or the heat that is there in the interior of the earth. The earth got cooled, and the heat of the earth was confined in the later time periods, after few millions of years, only towards the inner core, more, and just above the outer core, inner core and outer core. This is the material. Now, after that, what happened is that due to the exogenetic factors. Now, what do you mean by exogenetic factors? Exogenetic factors means sun, rain, wind, water, rivers, etc., etc. All the exogenetic factors, they started to act on these landforms. That means this is the original landform that is formed. Now, just imagine see, maybe there was rainfall, and this rainfall started to fill these places. This might have become an ocean, right? The rainfall which is formed here, it will also flow in either directions. Now, each of this is called as a geosyncline. ठीक है? Now, these land masses which were formed, they are called as cratons. ठीक है? Now what is a geosyncline? Geosyncline is a large scale depression which is found between two continents. Can I say that? Is Indian Ocean a geosyncline? Pacific Ocean a geosyncline? Atlantic Ocean a geosyncline? Yes, all of these are geosynclines. That means the major oceans that are of the world are geosynclines. These geosynclines later got filled with the water. Right? So, like this you find many geosynclines across the earth, but our interest is to understand how the landforms have been formed. Now see here, this is a craton. Okay? Or is craton not exposed to the exogenetic factors? It is also exposed to the exogenetic factors, right? So see here. Thank you. The craton is also exposed to the exogenetic factors. Because of that, rainfall, wind, and some part of the craton got eroded. Okay? Some part of the craton got eroded. Why is it eroded? Rain, wind, thousands of years, water droplets. So the part of the craton which got eroded, we call this as, if this is eroded, this we call it as shield. And the platforms or the areas which are present next to the shields, we call them as platform. Okay? Platforms, and this is a platform. That means, what is a craton? Can I say that craton is a combination of shields and platforms? So, to make it easier, now can you imagine what I've drawn? That means this is your original landmass. An original landmass has shields and platforms. Right? So, together we call it as cratons. Now, where do you find shield? Shield is the oldest landmass. मतलब original landmass है. अब maybe there could be a river that can be present after 500 million years, and then this river could come and start depositing on the shield. The depositions can be of this sort. Rainfall can be there, or else other exogenetic factors, whatever so you think of, they can come and deposit on them. ठीक है? Right? They can have different shapes. Shapes in the sense, maybe on the platform you can see some mountains that can be formed. But what is the original landmass? The original landmass is shield and platforms. That means there could be mountains which can be formed here. There could be a plateau which can be raised here. Right? कभी सुना है पुराना platforms? Ever heard of that? Purana land masses. So like this, Purana, I am talking about Purana. Purana is nothing but the old, there was a time period. So in totality, your original land masses are nothing but cratons. Cratons are a collection of shields and platforms. So in India, we actually had 5 major platforms and shields. Look here. This is the basement rock, the original rock. What is this? Platform. How did this platform form? The erosions which were happened on the shield, they got deposited here. The erosions got deposited here. ठीक है? So the original rock is this. Basement rock कहा जाता है. Shield and platform together we call it as a craton. Right? Now, shields are the oldest land masses. You also have shields in India. You also have shields in USA. That means the original land masses across the globe are these. Just take a minute to see. Shield is these. Go and look onto India. Indian shield. That means this is the original landmass of India. Coal has no role on the shields. Okay? Shield and platforms are the original land masses. Upon that, depositions can come. River can come and deposit. What I am trying to tell you is, the basement rock is the original rock. Okay? Look here. The basement rock. This is the basement rock. This is the original rock. On this original rock, don't you think there could be rainfall, erosions, floods for thousands of years, lakhs of years if something takes place? यहाँ पे कुछ भी लैंडफॉर्म बन सकते हैं इनके ऊपर ना. There could be a layer of material that can be formed here. Yes, basement rock is formed by volcanoes. Right? There could be a landform depth of near about 100-150 meters above. Above 100-150 meters above this rock, you can find some mountains. You can find a plateau on this. Whatever the landform you can think, it can be formed. All these are formed because of external forces or exogenetic forces. So the famous shields across the globe are: number 1, Canadian shield, the oldest landmass. इंडियन शील्ड, पाकिस्तानी शील्ड. ठीक है? सो ये जो शील्ड्स है ना अर्थक्वेक होगा यहां पर, बिकॉज वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग रॉक. राइट? नॉट मेनी अर्थ, मतलब डायनामिक डिजास्टर्स दैट कैन बी सीन. समटाइम्स दिस पर्टिकुलर शील्ड कैन बी पंचर्ड बाय अनदर वॉल्केनो ऑल्सो. सी व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू टेल इज, this particular shield can be punctured by other volcano by the name of hotspot. Look here. Inner core, outer core. You know that अभी लैंडफॉर्म तो बन गया है, ऐसे कई सारे लैंडफॉर्म्स हो सकते हैं अराउंड द अर्थ. नाउ सपोज इमेजिन देयर इज अ हॉटस्पॉट. नाउ व्हाट इज अ हॉटस्पॉट? A volcanic activity, but this volcanic activity can be present anywhere. I also told that volcanoes on the earth can be formed at the places where middle oceanic ridges, wherever the oceanic plate and continental plate collide with each other. 80% of the total earthquakes that are present on the surface of the earth, they are present next to the subduction zones. Now what is a subduction zone? The place where oceanic plate and continental plate collide with each other, oceanic plate got subducted. 80% of the total volcanoes I am talking about, they are at the subduction zones. Right? On the surface of the earth, and beneath the oceans, it is at the middle oceanic ridges. In totality, when you look into, there are also other 20% of the volcanoes which are present. Now where do you find them? You find them in the form of hotspots. Now what is a hotspot? Hotspot is a place where the radioactive elements within the outer core and the mantle boundary are very high. Imagine, this is your mantle. ठीक है? How do I erase it? Okay, it has taken a screenshot. Yes. Okay. See, suppose if you have a radioactive material which is present here, let's imagine the concentration of the radioactive material is more here. What happens? Rising. But imagine there are no convectional cells at that point. I hope everyone knows convectional cells. Convectional cells, rising limb, then sink. Okay? This is how the convectional currents are there. Any doubt in this? Okay? So just imagine that this is a rising limb. What happens? This will become your sinking limb. Any doubt in this? अगर किसी को समझ नहीं आ रहा है क्या? You're clear with that. But there would be places where, so where do you find the volcanic activity in general? Rising or sinking? Pakka? It can be there on rising and sinking also. It depends on what kind of plate it is. But will you find volcanic activity here? At times there can be volcanic activity at this point. And such kind of volcanic activity is called as hotspot or mantle plumes. Cell hai nahi. There is no cell presence here, but there could be presence of mantle plumes. So I am going to introduce you to a new word. One, hotspot and mantle plumes. See, hotspot is a place where the volcanic activity is present in the area where there is no convectional cell rising or sinking limb is there. जहां पे राइजिंग या सिंकिंग लिम्ब नहीं है, वहां पर इफ देर इज अ मटेरियल दैट स्टार्ट्स टू राइज एज अ वॉल्केनो, देन दैट इज कॉल्ड एज ए मैंटल प्लूम. दैट मीन्स हियर द मैंटल प्लूम ऑलवेज राइजेस लाइक दिस. It is present at the boundary of the outer core and mantle boundary where the radioactive elements are very strong. So it will start to come out as a mantle plume. These mantle plumes, they come in episodes. They are not active all throughout the year. Or maybe they might be active for another 100 years and then they shed themselves for another 500 years. Right? Plumes. Plume matlab once it comes and then it stops. That is called as a plume. Maybe air, if I am blowing, it comes as a plume, right? So that is called as a plume. Plume is something which erupts as a form of episodes. So these plumes, they can erupt and puncture. Okay? They can erupt and puncture, and then you can also see another landform being found here. Okay? You can also see another landforms being formed here. It can happen like this also. Okay? See, now Shaurya's question is that, sir, if the concentration of the radioactive material is more, don't you think that the cell moves? Cell can move, but it takes thousands and lakhs of years for the cell to move. Okay? No doubt, the cell can move, but it takes a lot of time for the cell to move. Meanwhile, you might see some kind of hotspots. Now, such kind of hotspot you also once had under the Deccan Plateau. Okay? Likewise, your shields and platforms which are there, they can also get disrupted. Right? They can also get disrupted. So, in totality, look here. These are the major original land masses, और बाकी जगह जो देख रहे हो आप, it is just additions, deletions, which has happened over a period of few thousands and lakhs of years. Depth of what? Landform? I'll explain this in a further time period. Okay? Basically, oceanic crust depth is only 5 kilometers because it is made up of basalt. Any volcano which is coming out, usually it gets cooled very quickly. I'll explain this in the rocks chapter. ठीक है? अभी leave that topic because you need some basics there also. But overall ये shield concept समझ में आया ना? बना कैसा है? Everyone is aware of this. Any doubts here? Now coming to the topic, India is a collection of 5 different cratons. Now what is the original landmass of India? This is the original landmass of India. First one, look at this craton. Even Sri Lanka is part of the Indian craton. That means Sri Lanka was also part of the Indian craton. This is one craton. What is the name of this craton? Dharwad craton. Right? Next, in between Dharwad craton and the craton which is Bastar, this is Bastar area where the Naxalism activity or the left-wing extremism activity is more. Next to this, you have again which craton? Singbum craton. And in between, you look here, you also have the Bundelkhand craton. And last one is Meghalaya craton. So our India is a collection of 5 major cratons. Right? These are the original land masses. You'll appreciate this topic when we are looking into the minerals. ठीक है? Primary rocks which are there, horst or graben, I'll explain sometime. Where did you see graben? Graben, this I'll explain, give me some time. So that means there was no landform that was present here. These were the original landforms of India. Now these landforms, they could collide with each other. They can move against each other. Original land masses hai. Later on, you get to see the river Narmada flowing through them. Godavari flowing through this. Mahanadi flowing through this. At that point of time, no water bodies. There is a gap. In that gap, if any rainfall which was there, suppose rainfall which was there, it used to flow into this. A rainfall which was there, it used to flow into this. There was no water body in the beginning I am talking about. In today's time when you look into, river Godavari is present between Dharwad craton and Bastar craton. And river Mahanadi, Bastar and Singbum ke beech mein. Narmada, it is flowing with. And the beauty of this faults is nothing but the Narmada fault, the Narmada river, this is where Narmada river is. On the other side you look into, there is another river. Can you name that river? Damodar. Ganga comes from here. Meghalaya plateau ko kaat ke. But this is Damodar river. That means the Rift Valley is the valley of Narmada is connected to Damodar Valley. Now later on, see this is the original landmass I am talking about. Later on, after few billion years or after few million years, what happened is that iske upar mitti aa gaya. There is another addition of material. River came in, animals came in, vegetation started to form, and whatever you see above this is just a superficial landforms. No matter what, these landforms are the original landforms. Right? Original. There can be multiple layers that can be formed. Right? So, here, Over a period of time, you will come across the formations of Aravalli mountains. Here is where you find Aravalli. And these are Satpura mountains. सबसे पुराना mountains है. The oldest landforms that you'll ever get to see are these Aravallis and Satpuras. How they are formed? Because of the crustal folding of the original Cratons. Original Cratons which are there, they got folded. Why they got folded? Plate movements, Cratons. There are no reasons, there could be many reasons whatsoever. That means, can I say that ये जो Bundelkhand Craton यहाँ पे दिख रहा है ना, the boundary of the Bundelkhand Craton on the western side, that is where your Aravallis are formed. Aravallis are considered to be the oldest mountains in India. They are the oldest mountains. Youngest mountains are Himalayas. Next to Aravallis, the oldest mountains are Satpuras. Then you have Eastern Ghats. Western Ghats, they are also young babies. Okay? Just older than your Himalayas. So, overall, this is your landform. Okay? So, let's go further. ये याद रखना, आगे जाके हम इसी के बारे में डिस्कस करने वाले हैं. Vindhyas form later. ठीक है? Satpuras are way older. Vindhyas are टूटे-फूटे escarpments है. They are just rocks which are hills made up of escarpments. जैसे western, I'll explain the concept of horse mountain and block mountain after some time. Then you will get the understanding of the formation of the mountains. But before we go any further, थोड़ा सा mapping देख लेते हैं, because I'll be using the names of Vindhyas, Satpuras. So open your atlas. Can you repeat the question? Moon pe Cratons. No, moon Cratons are different. The Cratons on the moon are formed because of the external objects. Maybe volcanic Cratons were also there, but today the temperatures are so low that the volcano which comes out gets immediately cooled. Yes? Hey, but yes, but that's not part of the syllabus. I think we should. Lost continents karke bhi hai. There is no end to geography. So, but we have to limit ourselves here. So, come back, open your atlas. I want you to first understand the ranges of the mountains and we'll try to understand. See, you have Himalayas. Himalayas, yesterday we have learned that from the north to south as you go, the top mountain ranges, this is your Karakoram, and then Ladakh, you have Zanskar, then you have Greater Himalayas and Lesser Himalayas, followed by Shivaliks. Are you clear with this? Yes. The next major chain of mountains, which are also fold mountains, they are called Aravallis. See, these Aravallis are present from Gujarat. The highest peak of Aravallis you will find in your atlas in the name of Mount Abu, Guru Shikhar. Open the map of Gujarat. In the Gujarat physical map you will find. Open the map of Gujarat. Did you find? Sorry, Guru Shikhar is in Rajasthan, not Gujarat. Okay? On the boundary between Gujarat and Rajasthan, Mount Abu is a place where you will find. This is the place where you will find. Look here. On the boundary, Gujarat. So this is the highest peak. What is the height? 1722 meters. That means the mountains of Aravallis, the tallest mountain you will see here and the extension of Aravallis you can see up till the New Delhi, the place where your president sits. And the Aravalli mountain shapes are like this. Okay? Look, the folding is very unique. If the tallest mountain is here, and as you go, the height of the mountain reduces, and then this is how you will get to see the mountains in the northern region. Right? So, can anyone tell me why the shape of the Aravallis is like this? As you go towards the north, they have opened up. This particular phenomena is called as fan folding. F-A-N-F-O-L-D-I-N-G. See, fundamentally, when you look into rocks, if once you are folding a rock, it will have one folding. But again you fold, what happens? It can get irregular folding. Ab dobara crush karo. Suppose, see here. Imagine this is a crust. I have folded once. One set of mountains formed. Then I have decided to fold more. Then later on, don't you think the folding will be of this sort? Right? So, the wider the plate, the more you crush, it is multiple foldings will take place. So, Aravalli's shape is of this sort. And the height of the Aravalli is highest in the west, southwest. It is present in the state of Gujarat, Rajasthan, next Haryana, Punjab, and Delhi. Right? So one chain of mountains you got to learn. Now go to the Western Ghats. Here also, the Western Ghats, as you go towards the south, the highest peak of the Western Ghats you will see in the south. Okay? These are Western Ghats. And on the eastern side you find Eastern Ghats. Your Eastern Ghats are not continuous. Okay? They are series of hills. In the south, you will find certain ranges of mountains. We call them as Southern Hill Complex. This is your Southern Hill Complex. And these are your Eastern Ghats. Right? And here you find two mountain ranges running parallel to each other. And the northern mountain range, this is called as, yes, Satpuras or Vindhyas? Open your atlas. It is Satpuras. Okay? Satpura. And then you have, open your atlas and look, Vindhyas are moving, Vindhyas are present in the north or south? North or south? कितने लोग कॉन्फिडेंटली गलत बोला? See, your Vindhyas are present towards the north, and then in the south you find Satpura. This is your Vindhyas, this is your Satpuras. Okay? Between Vindhyas and Satpuras, which river flows? The river which flows is called Narmada. This is called as Narmada Rift Valley. I'll explain the formations of these two as well, don't worry. Okay? Vindhyas in the north, Satpuras in the south. Satpura is Satpura, it's a series of 7 hills. Garjat Hills, you can look into your atlas, Mahadev Hills, Ajanta Ranges, okay? Balaghat Ranges, Ajanta Ranges. ये सारा जानना पड़ेगा प्रीलिम्स के लिए. नर्मदा, तापी, महानदी, तापी. It is north of this. Mapping we'll do in very detailed manner, so don't worry. So whatever I tell, just focus on that. Next, go to West Bengal. On the boundary lines of the West Bengal, you find certain mountain ranges. What is the name of this? Raj Mahal Hills. Now come to Meghalaya. In the Meghalaya, you find 3 mountain ranges like this. One is Garo, second one is Kasi, third one is Jaintia. Next, you go to the northeast. The mountain ranges that are found are with respect to state, names of the state. In the north, you go to Arunachal Pradesh alone, you find 4 major mountain ranges by the name Mishmi, Abor, Miri, Dafla. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is Mishmi. Then you have Miri. This is Abor, Miri, and Dafla. South of this, when you come to Assam, there is one mountain range by the name Mikir. And these 4 are in Arunachal Pradesh. Now come to Nagaland by the name Naga Hills. Come to Mizoram, you will have Mizo Hills, right? Yes? Manipuri Hills. Manipur, Manipuri Hills, Nagaland, Naga Hills, Mizoram, Mizo Hills. They are extension to the part of Himalayas. They are Himalayas part itself, but their formations are formed later. Okay? They are extension to the formation of Himalayas. You don't call them as Himalayas. They are extended Himalayas. It is also said that the extension of the Himalayas can also be called as Andaman Nicobars. But there are 2 different theories. Andaman Nicobars is also formed because of the oceanic plate and the continental plate rise. Ocean convergence ki karan. So they are also extended part of the Himalayas. And in the north, you will find a hill by the name Nanga Parbat. Sorry, it is Namcha Barwa. Namcha Barwa here, and this is the easternmost part of the Himalayas, and here you will find Nanga Parbat. Okay? So, apart from this, the hills that are found, Naga Hills, Manipuri Hills, Mizo Hills, all of them they are together called as Purvanchal Hills or Patkai Bum. Open your atlas and look into. Let me show you. Dekho, this entire region is called as Purvanchals. Right? Clear? So, 4 major hills, quickly recall. Mishmi, Abor, Miri, Dafla. Repeat after me. Mishmi, Abor, Miri, Dafla. Mishmi, Abor, Miri, Dafla. And then in the Assam you have Mikir. Nagaland mein you have Naga Hills, Mizoram, Manipuri Hills, Mizoram, Mizo Hills. Right? In Meghalaya, Garo, Kasi, Jaintia. Garo, Kasi, Jaintia Hills. 3 major set. And the western part of the West Bengal, these are Raj Mahal Hills. So in the north, you have Vindhyan Ranges, and little south, you have Satpura. Here you have Aravalis. Himalayas, Karakoram, Ladakh, Zanskar, Greater Himalayas, Lesser Himalayas, Shivaliks. The Lesser Himalayas names are Pir Panjal in Kashmir, Doladar in Himachal, and Nagtibba ranges in the Uttarakhand. Right? These are the major mountain ranges that you got to learn. Now come to Gujarat. Here you find by the name Girnar Hills. Open your atlas. If you are not able to find that in the physical map, what you need to do is go to the Gujarat map. Pehle 5 minutes lena. First 15 maps, what are they consisting of? Just open and get to know what is it. just go through the atlas. State by state, you will have the maps in the first 15-20 pages. So that next time, whenever you open, it will be easy for you. Every state has its own map. Now go to Gujarat, you will find Girnar ranges. That is Gir only. Gir or Girnar, dono same hai. Gir mountains. This is the place where you find Gir National Park, jahan pe lions are present. The only place where lions are present in India. Not just in India, in the entire Asia. Come to the southern part. These are Western Ghats. And come to the southern hill complex. So you find out Nilgiri, Annamalai, Cardamom, and Agastamalai. Go to the southern hill complex and please try to find out these maps. Nilgiri, Annamalai, Agastamalai, look here. You will find 4 mountain ranges here. See, नीलगिरी, अन्नामलाई, ठीक है, कार्डमम and Agastamalai. Did you find? Agastamalai थोड़ा नीचे होता है. You can write it if you don't find it there. You can write it. नाकमुक्का song सुना है ना? नाकमुक्का, नाकमुक्का. That is what it is. NACA. Literal meaning is this only. The song is based on these 4 mountain ranges. Right? Agastamalai. You may not find it in the atlas, so it's okay. These 4 mountain ranges, they are together called as Southern Hill Complex. Now look at Nilgiri. Nilgiri mountain ranges. If this is Nilgiri mountain, just a minute. See here. If this is Nilgiri mountain ranges, in this part of the area where the Western Ghats meet with the Eastern Ghats. Okay? That means this is the place where the Western Ghats meet with the Eastern Ghats. And where exactly it meets? It meets at a place called Shastamkota Wildlife Sanctuary or Satyamangalam Tiger Reserve. It meets at a place called, within the Nilgiri Hills, you have a tiger reserve. याद रहेगा ये सब? Just a minute. Look here. Karakoram, Ladakh, Zanskar, Greater Himalayas, Lesser Himalayas, Shivaliks. Lesser Himalayas names are Pir Panjal in Kashmir, Dauladhar in Himachal, and Naktibba ranges in Uttarakhand. Right? These are the Himalayas. Now, in the interesting aspect with respect to the Himalayas is that you will find the Himalayas extending all the way from Kashmir till the Arunachal Pradesh hills, and in this part of the area, you will find one thing, that the Greater Himalayas extend all the way till the northeast. And the highest height of the Greater Himalayas is in the central area, and this central area is called as Central Himalayas, that is your Nepal. Right? Now, quickly go to the Aravallis. The highest mountain is Guru Shikhar, in Mount Abu. Right? Fan folding phenomena you will get to see in Aravallis. Now come to the northeast, 4 major mountain ranges. 1, Mishmi, Abor, Miri, Dafla. Mishmi, Abor, Miri, Dafla, and Mikir in the Assam. Right? Done. Put Patkai Boom, the other name for the Purvanchal Hills, or else you can also call by the name Naga Hills by Nagaland, Manipur, Manipuri Hills, Mizo Hills in Mizoram. That means Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, when you go across from north to south, you will find. Right? Garo, Kasi, Jayantia Hills in Meghalaya. Please repeat so that it will become easy for you. If not, if you feel shy, maybe in your own mind you just keep on repeating. Garo, Kasi, Jayantia. These are the major hills. And Rajmahal Hills, West Bengal. And south of that, please go and find Ajodhya Hills. Ajodhya. Garo, Kasi, Jayantia, and Ajodhya. Ajodhya, Badam Pahad. Ajodhya Hills, Badam Pahad, Garjat. In these 3 hills you will find here. Ajodhya, Badam, Pahad, and Garjat. On the boundaries of the West Bengal to that of the Jharkhand area, you won't find there, you will find in the main map. Go to the state map, West Bengal area map. बस जानना चाहिए यहाँ पे ये माउंटेन्स है क्या. Got it? Garjat, Ajodhya and Badam Pahad. अगर नहीं मिला तो वहां लिख लेना. It is found in Garjat is in which state? Boundaries of Odisha. Not Andhra Pradesh. Boundaries of Odisha. ठीक है? Now come back. Go to Eastern Ghats, the mountain ranges that you find across the Eastern Ghats. Eastern Ghats means go to the southern area map. Do you find Shivroy Hills? This is where Shivroy, Javdi, Shivroy, Erramalla, Nallamalla. Not on the west side, yaar, on the east side. ठीक है? हाँ. Javadi, that is Javdi. Shivroy, Javdi, Shivroy, Nallamalla. Yes. Manikonda ranges. यो छोटे मोटे नाम याद रखना. Whatever I tell, you need to remember that. One is Javdi, Shivroy. These 2 are very important. Nallamalla. Nallamalla is in Andhra Pradesh boundary. Maybe in the same map you may not get, you will get somewhere else. Look here. See, south is Shivroy Hills, Javdi Hills, Nallamalla, Erramalla. Got it? If not, draw it in your atlas, draw it in your map. Now take a minute time to remember all of these hills. Look, the Himalayas can be divided on the basis of the rivers as well. I told you what are those rivers. Indus, Sutlej, Kali, Brahmaputra and Tista. Tista and Brahmaputra. So broadly, if you are dividing Himalayas like this, look here. If you want to divide the Himalayan ranges like this. So the first river is Indus, then followed by Sutlej. You'll have Kali, you'll have Tista, and you'll have Brahmaputra. Right? So they are called as Punjab or Kashmir Himalayas. This is your Indus. And this is your Sutlej. This is Kali. The mountain ranges which are present between Sutlej river and Kali mountain, they are called as Kumaon. Right? Uttarakhand can be divided into two areas. One, it can be divided into the Kumaon range, matlab the area which is present next to the Kali river, Nepal border. And other area is Garhwal. आपने सुना होगा Garhwal region, Uttarakhand, Kumaon region. It is divided like this. The eastern part of this area, the eastern side, this is called as Kumaon, and western part, this is called as Garhwal. This is how the Uttarakhand is divided into. Kali and these Himalayas are also called as Central Himalayas. Central, Nepal. And the river is Tista. This is your Brahmaputra. They are also called as Assam Himalayas. And the mountain ranges which are present south of it, they are called as Purvanchals. This is how the riverine divisions of the Himalayas are there. जितना फिजियोग्राफी में स्ट्रांग होगा उतना ही अच्छा मार्क्स मिलता है प्रीलिम्स में. सो प्लीज डोंट हेजिटेट टू रिपीट दोज वर्ड्स. घर जाके शायद आप कुछ टाइम स्पेंड करो. इट विल बी रियली हेल्पफुल टू यू एज वेल. क्लियर? और बाकी छोटे मोटे रेंजेस होता है. आई डोंट थिंक इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर यू. वी नीड नॉट स्पेंड टू मच टाइम देयर. राइट? सो शिवराय, जावडी, पालकोंडा, नल्लमल्ला, एर्रमल्ला, ऐसे कई सारे माउंटेन्स रेंजेस होते हैं. ओके, नाउ टेक कपल ऑफ मिनट्स टू सिंक इन दैट कंटेंट. Any photos that you have taken? The Pakistani Craton. On the western side also we have a Craton. Pakistan के ऊपर भी एक Craton था ना? That I did not show you. So that Craton and the Indian, the Aravalli, the Bundelkhand Craton got collided with each other. Plates के जरिए. It's not a more or less same density होता है. So if they collide, the mountains will be formed. Initially subductions were not there. That's why these mountains are as old as the formation of the earth crust. मतलब उतना ही पुराना है. Initial formations. So Craton and a Craton, they can collide. They can create fold mountains. So the Pakistani Craton which was there, that went and collided. In the optional, I'll explain in detail manner. There was a time when the height of the Aravallis was as much as Himalayas, but rivers were there, and erosions happened, depositions happened, landslides happened. Because of that, the height of the Aravallis got lowered. ठीक है? So shall we quickly revise? Himalayas. Karakoram. आप खुद बता देना मुझे. In the Himalayas, how many ranges are there from north to south? Karakoram, Ladakh, Zanskar, Greater Himalayas, Lesser Himalayas, and Shivaliks. Greater Himalayas and Lesser Himalayas are also called as Himadri and Himachal. Lesser Himalayas, they are also called as Pir Panjals in Kashmir, and Doladar in Himachal, and Nag Tibba in Uttarakhand. Wonderful. So the extension of these Himalayas can also be seen to Nepal, Sikkim, and then Arunachal Pradesh. In the Arunachal Pradesh, the greater Himalayas are only present in Mishmi Hills. So once let's go to Arunachal Pradesh and learn the mountain ranges from north to south. Mishmi, Abor, Miri, Dafla. Now, Mikir is in Assam. So Mishmi, Abor, Miri, Dafla, these are the four major mountain ranges. They are named after the tribal community that are present there. Right? Mishmi tribe, Miri tribe, Mikir tribe, Abor, Dafla, sub tribal ka naam hai. Right? So here only Mishmi Hills are part of the Greater Himalayas, and rest of them, they are not part of the Greater Himalayas. And Shivaliks, they are only present in the western area, but Shivaliks are absent on the eastern side. Right? There are no Shivaliks on the eastern side. The extension of Shivaliks can be seen in the form of duars. D-U-A-R-S. Duar formations. NCERT says that the extension of the Shivaliks can be seen till the eastern side. It is extension, it is not the mountains. Okay? In the western side, dunes are formed. In the eastern side, duars are formed. Now what are dunes? Dunes are nothing but mountain, a plain area. Imagine this is a plain area which is present between a mountain range and another mountain range. So this is called as a dun. Dehradun, Patkai, the Patkai dun on the western side, as well as Khalka, Jammu, all of them are duns. Okay? A similar kind of plain area, if you find on the eastern side, they are called as duars, duar formations. इस दुआर फॉर्मेशंस में टी बहुत ही बढ़िया कल्टीवेशन होता है. राइट? द ईस्टर्न साइड इज दुआर्स, सिलीगुड़ी. ठीक है? चिकन नेक कॉरिडोर, सिलीगुड़ी एरिया, दैट इज वेयर यू विल फाइंड ब्यूटिफुल दुआर्स दैट आर फॉर्म्ड. Duar more or less same, but they are little rugged topographies as compared to dunes. Right? Now come to Aravallis. Highest mountain is in the west, southwest. Western Ghats, the highest mountain is in the south. Go to Anaimudi, Annamalai. Find out the highest peak in the southern hills. Annamalai. Annamalai. Anna means bada. Malai means konda, hill. ठीक है? That is how you need to remember. The tallest mountains are found in the Nilgiri ranges. or Southern Hill Complex you will find. Annamalai. आएंगे बाद में. We are only halfway till the physiography. Once you learn the physiography, you'll enjoy it. Right? Okay. Because I want you to remember these hills. Once you are comfortable with that, I can use that at a flow. ताकि when I say Ajodhya hills, then you might be thinking ये कहाँ पर है? ऐसे नहीं होना चाहिए. Ajodhya means चलो eastern side कम से कम इधर है. Ajodhya, Badam Pahad and Garjat on the boundary lines of West Bengal and Odisha border. Garo, Kasi, Jayanti and mid state. Meghalaya. ठीक है, Meghalaya, Garo, Kasi, Jayantiya. Then name the hills of the eastern Ghats from south to north. Shivroy, Javdi, Palkonda, Nallamalla, Erramalla. Nalla means black, Erra means red. ठीक है, Nallamalla, Erramalla. Nalla means black color. The hills there are of black color. Erra means red. The hills there are of red color. They look red in color. Nallamalla, Erramalla. Right? In your atlas also you can write it down. So that future mein na, it will be easy for you to remember. Nalla means black, Erra means red. Nallamalla forest. Have you heard of Pushpa? Who is he? See, Pushpa is a movie. I just wanted to make a fun of it. Nallamalla hills, it is there, no? He used to trade in red sanders. Movie you have seen, right? That red sanders are found in this Nallamalla forest. It is the only place on the India and in the entire Eastern Asia where red sanders are present. Tirupati area. Tirupati is Tirumala, Tirupati, Balaji. You will find them here. This Nallamalla forest is very famous for red sanders. Red sanders, it is a tropical dry deciduous area. Mean for 3 months it will shed its leaf and rest of the time it will have its leaf. During the rainy seasons they will start to grow. So it's a tropical dry deciduous area. Red sanders को याद करने का एक अच्छा तरीका है. Right? So it is present here in this area. Right? Okay. Now come to Southern Hill Complex, that is Nilgiri, Annamalai, cardamom and spices. World's best spices are grown in these 4 mountain ranges. You know, Vasco da Gama came to India and what he took back? Spices. What spices? Pepper. Pepper was something very famous the then time period. Cardamom. Cardamom hills are named after cardamom itself. Chote cardamom, bade cardamom, like that. Cardamom trees will be there. And spices are very famously grown in that region. So why spices are grown? Basically spices are a poisonous elements for the birds or the other species so that they do not come and eat that plant. It's a chemical. Right? We take that chemical and we eat it. Whenever we eat spices, what do we get? Sweat. Right? Now why is that most people who are in deserts, they eat spicy food? You go to Rajasthan mein mast spices they eat. Go to Rayalaseema, they eat Khatarnak spices. There's a restaurant by name, if you ever get a time, go to Kritunga. Kritunga is a region between Krishna and Tungabhadra. Krishna river and Tungabhadra, you'll find it here. There's Krishna river and then Tungabhadra river. Okay? Krishna, that is Kri, and Tunga, Kritunga. This particular area has very spicy food. The restaurants are also named after Kritunga. Likewise, go to Rayalaseema. Rayalaseema is this part of the region, of the rain shadow region of Andhra Pradesh. There also people eat spice. Now why do they eat spice, you know? The capsaicin. It is a small enzyme or hormone, whatever you say. Whenever you eat spices, it releases sweat in your body and you feel cool. ठीक है? Spices relationship with the desert area, it is because the capsaicin which is there, it is also there in capsicum also. Any spices you eat, whenever you eat, immediately you'll start to sweat. Now sweat is a mechanism to release the heat in your body. So that's why people in Rajasthan, people in the very warm areas, they go and eat spices. Right? This is some The geographical relation with the human aspects. They also grow in less rain जहाँ पे available है. And more water also, it is not of water. Whenever there are species that come and eat the plant, in order to protect them, they come up. ठीक है? Got it? Yes, it's like a reaction. So that's why the relationship between spices and hot weather season will be there. So that somehow these kind of relationships will help you to solve couple of marks extra, get extra in your prelims. Done? चलो, याद रहेगा ये सब? Okay. Now come back to the physiography. Here we'll first go towards the formations of the physiography. So chalo, quickly let's go back to the physiography map as well. Just a minute. प्लेट के ऊपर क्रेटॉन्स, प्लेट बना ही नहीं जब क्रेटॉन्स था. It is still in the formation. It was still in the formation time period. See, when cratons were there, plate was not yet active. Plate's formation was taking place. ठीक है? That old were the cratons. I'm talking about the initial land masses. Cratons के ऊपर मिट्टी बना and that became a plate. Cratons are at the bottom. ठीक है? Just imagine this is a craton. On craton, I can pour water, I can pour sand. If I pour continuous sand, there might be another layer. There can be another layer. And if I fold this, there can be a mountain that can be formed. Or sometimes only the top layer, the bottom layer, craton which is there, it is same. But the top layer which is there, it can become a mountain. Right? So cratons are always the fundamental land masses. Shields, cratons, platforms. ये बहुत ही strong landforms है जहाँ ये सब है, earthquakes इतना आसान से नहीं होता. So see the physiography here. Out of this physiography, I want you to remember the major physiographic regions. One, you all know that these are Himalayas. Look, Punjab Himalayas. What is the river here? Sutlej. What is the river here? Kali. Tista. Brahmaputra. Now look into the names again. Punjab Himalayas or Kashmir Himalayas. ठीक है? That's why they are called as either Punjab or Kashmir. Why? Because here we have divided them very clearly. But Punjab or Kashmir you can call. These are Kumaon, Kumaun, Central Himalayas. These are Assam Himalayas. And then Purvanchals. Right? So Mishmi, Abor, Miri, Dafla and Mikir, are they part of Purvanchals? They are part of Assam Himalayas. ठीक है? They are also called as Eastern Himalayas. Yes, Patkai Bhumi. Now come to the next physiographic region, that is your northern plains. See, this part of the area is considered to be the Great Plains. Now the Great Plains are, this is entirely a plain area. Now how did this Great Plains form? Yes? Basically, what happened was, you had Great Himalayas formed here, Lesser Himalayas formed here, and then Shivaliks formed here. Isn't this a 4 deep that is formed? This is a 4 deep, no? Now there are many rivers that can come from Greater Himalayas, Lesser Himalayas and Shivaliks. There are more and fresh rivers that are formed after that. This was a valley. In fact, the depth of the depth of the Great Himalayas, the depth here was somewhere, this 4 deep was very deep. Now what was the depth here? 2000 meters. All the rivers which were moving from Greater Himalayas, Lesser Himalayas and Shivaliks, they were coming towards the south. Slowly, this 2000 meters valley started to get filled. Okay? That means, if I go and dig an area in the northern plains of India, especially in Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, that is Kurukshetra, or else the Karnal, or the Punjab region, if I dig a bore well, I will not get rocks, strong, hard rocks, at least till 500-600 meters below. Mitti hai, super mitti, fresh soil, alluvial soil, itna fresh soil hai, the world's finest Great Plains are present. That's why you plant anything, it grows anything. And you just keep a person standing here. You make a person stand here. This person has an entire plain area hota hai. But this is not the case when you go towards the plateau. You bring a plateau person to a plain area, he goes mad. Wherever you see, it is completely a plain area. They are not used to that. But a plateau person who is there, you go to the plateau area, they are formed like this. So this is how a plateau looks. One, it is a plain area for some time, then he has to climb. Right? 40-50 kilometers area. In this also you will find some kind of highs and lows. Right? It is not a mountain. So for after 40-50 kilometers he will raise his height, then enter into mountains. Very small hills. So they are not used to these kind of topographies. That's why the working culture which is there in India, most of the labor, they come from the plain area to rest of the area. You look, which is the state that gives the labor to rest of India? This belt. Labor yahan par bhi hai. Once they go to southern area, they are not used to the changing topography. The cultures and the behaviors also are associated with this. No matter what cultures and behaviors, it can be taught and learnt. But there is an innate ability that comes very naturally. That is always there here. ठीक है? For example, I always tell people of Punjab and the relationship between the geography. गुस्सा आया तो बहुत ज़्यादा है. Even if the happiness is there, it's also to the peaks. This is what it is also taught in your optional as well. That this is something which is called as environmentalism. Environmentalism means environment is the one which decides what kind of behavior you should be having. So when you take it in a generalistic perspective, that people of Punjab are having extreme behaviors. I'm taking in a generalistic term. This is not my opinion. These are the geographical opinions that are there. Why do they have? It is because extreme weather, very cold and very hot. Temperatures in the summer goes up to 48, 49, 50. In winter, 4, 5, 6 degrees. So ठंड भी ज़्यादा है, गर्मी भी ज़्यादा है. And wars, these were the first people who used to fight the war. First ones to defend. And the aggression is commonly there among them. Right? You look into any wars, they are always present in this belt. Haryana, these are the areas. So that's why that normal aggression is confined towards this environmental aspects. Now, environmentalism, when you look into the concept, says that everything in the world is decided by the environment. Right? The kind of clothing that you wear, the kind of, you go to south of this south of Vindhyas, that is here Satpuras, the concept of sweater does not exist there. Even in peak winters, you only need a small sweatshirt. एक sweatshirt चाहिए बस. Here, you need thermal layer, then one more layer, then another layer in the month of January. Look into the textile industry. Will it have a wider options here or here? North. Because you need to go for winter shopping, you need to go for summer shopping. In the south, only lungi shopping. It's done and dusted. Okay? That is how the environment decides what kind of clothing or behaviors it should be there. So, these plain areas are the labor. Why you have so much of population here again? Plain hai, nadi hai, and oldest civilizations are not survived here. The oldest civilizations like Indus Valley civilization, they are on the next to the river Indus. But the highest population today you look into, it is present in these northern plains. Why? I'll explain in the further classes of human geography. It is because of the concept of religion and the river. Wherever religion and river exist together, there the population flows like a river. Okay? And the conflicts of religion are more here as compared to any other places. You look into the conflicts, one, it is named Awadh. Okay? Other one says Rohilkhand. A Hinduistic name and an Islamic name. Allahabad to Prayagraj. Right? So, religious conflicts jahan par hoga, they always are tilting towards the hold and withholding of the geographical area, along with that population also. Name a city that has a river plus a religion and look into the size of the population. Haridwar, Varanasi, Kashi, that is Varanasi only. Varanasi has very high density of population. Haridwar also has high density of population. And all of them are cluttered. The populations are very cluttered there. Not just this. You go to the Rome. Why population of Rome is so high? Again, Bosphorus, river, and the religion there. So, river and religion are associated. Not just this, you go to south also. Meenakshi temple, river and religion. Then you go to Tirumala, river and religion. So, this is also associated with the caste system, as well as the strong beliefs and the strong regiments will be developed in that part of the area. Okay, come back. क्योंकि जहाँ रिवर होगा लाइफ आसान होगा. He is asking why river के साथ. Suppose if you have a river 60 kilometers away from you, when you do not have transportation in the older times, would you be living here or you wanted to go and settle next to the river? Next to river. So that is how you say. Religion came later, river was there first. In the Indus Valley civilization, the concept was religion, we were not aware. When religion comes, people tend to associate with them. The oldest form of religion, you can also look into the concept of Gotra. Gotra is not part of religion, but Gotra is a place where cows common shed. For example, you also have cow, everyone has cows. Now all these cows were put into one cow shed. Okay? The cow shed has a name, that is Gotra. That Gotra you have it today. You go and ask your parents, Amma, what is our Gotra? They'll tell. If you and your friend, any of you have a same common Gotra, in the ancient times, even you go to southern part of India, they don't get married to each other because they feel that cows are brothers and sisters, so you are also brothers and sisters. That kind of strong relationships that kind of beliefs do exist now. Okay? But religion and all, they added the component little later. Now, why religion came? Again, there is a theory to that. So, the concept of religion entered slowly. It did not come very fast. During the times of Ashoka, that was the time period when Buddha was there. Okay? And before Ashoka, you go back, Bimbisara. Okay? The religion of Buddhism, the religion of Jainism. How older are they? They are just 50-60 years next to each other. Okay? And Buddha and the Jain Mahavira, if you look into, Jain Mahavira is another 40 or 50 years elder to Buddha. Okay? So, it is in fact the Hinduistic strong ritual practices which are there gave rise to the religion of Buddha and Jaina. Okay? And Jainism was also very rigid in terms of chappal nahi pehenna hai. I mean, if you should not open your mouth. Agriculture also they used to feel sin activity. So it was rigid. So people opted for Buddhism because it is everyone can accept. And little later you see the latest religion is none other than the Sikhism. So the tenets of religion, when you look into, there is some common characteristics. The common characteristics are always there is a story, a very big story, a mythological story that no one will overpower to say this is a wrong story. The belief systems are so strong. And of course, there might be people at that point of time, but over a period of time, the stories are not written in the first instances. The stories are written after few generations. So when stories have been told, I'll tell Karan something. Karan, this glass is of cylindrical. Karan will say to Meher will say that the glass is so big and cylindrical, anyone can jump and swim into this. Okay? The other person will say that while swimming, and there was massive death bodies that we got to find. And the other person says that, chalo, isme makki bahar nikalo to ye makki ko life de diya kisi ne. Like that, the generational stories which were told from one generation to another generation, and finally, Naveen starts to sit and write all these stories. Now Naveen gives the tenets to this religion, and the tenets, no one will question. Matlab, how did the makki became live again? If someone questions, they will be killed. And that's how the story is set up, and the narrative is set up. On this narrative, the religion starts to build. Yes. So, I'm not criticizing all of these things, but this is how the developments takes place. Of course, there is a strong belief to all of these systems, but the strong belief should always come with a logic, not with the pseudo logics. There is a geographical reason to the split of religions also. For example, how many of you have studied the ancient history, Buddhism, Jainism? See, Buddhism has many sects. Jainism also has sects. Jainism has two sects. One, Svetambara and Digambara. Buddhism has Hinayana, Mahayana. These are sects. Now, why did this sects form? It is geographical reason are there. Firstly, Buddha and Jaina both were born in Bihar. Right? Their origins and all originate from Bihar. So Bihar is a place where extensive flooding can be there and extensive droughts can also be there. So, what were the characteristics of these two religions? One, they are not going to entertain anyone who have defaulted. Defaulted means कहीं पैसा लिया और वापस नहीं दिया, उसे कहते हैं defaulter. They do not allow them to practice this religion. Number one. Number two, only certain rules and restrictions are there. That means if you belong to Buddhism, every 15 days you have to go to certain place and come back to the same place again and tell whatever you have learned in your life in the last 15 days. That is nothing but stories. On a Buddha Purnima, every full moon day you have to come and tell your stories whatever you had. Right? So, maximum distance that they can travel is only 15 days. Or else you have to send 100, 150 people in one direction and they have to meet every 15 days. Or else they have to be in the groups and gangs. Right? That is how Sanghas developed. Now, Sanghas, they did not spread for larger distances in the initial time period just because of they have to come back and share the stories. Now, what does Buddhism has to carry? A robe. Robe is nothing but a dress. Right? They should not steal. They should only ask if the other person is willing, you take it. Right? Bhikshu. Next, they should not wear feet. Jainas should not wear. But Buddha said that, चलो आपको गर्मी लग रहा है तो चप्पल पहन लो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. Like this, relaxation of rules were there in the Buddhism. But there was a time when famines and droughts were there in Bihar. If famines and droughts are there in Bihar, already certain set of rules and regulations were written in the name of Pitakas. Pitakas means it is stories. Not stories, it is rules and regulations. For example, there are certain rules for an individual and there are certain rules for group of people. Now, these set of rules for individuals, they are called as Sutta Pitaka. Certain set of rules for Sangha, that means entire building, how the organization, कौन यहाँ पे सोना है, कौन यहाँ पर रहना है, where should the bathrooms be, how the bathroom rules and conducts should be, how should they move out, at what time they should move out. That is the code and conduct of Sanghas. That is Vinay Pitaka. But when floods, famines and all there, this was the time period. Similar time, Jainism to और भी strict है. So there were 2 consecutive years of drought. Even those agriculturalists or landlords who were there, they were not able to produce good food. Limited food is there. When limited food is there, when you go and ask, Bhavati Bhiksham Dehe, will they give you? No, they may not give you. That's when it was decided that, chalo, let's go to South India. Because droughts are there here, but maybe we might find some other ruler who might help us. That is when one of the wing of Jainism, that is Svetambara and Digambara. if you look into the Jainism, there are two sects. One is Shvetambars and Digambars. Shvetambars are the one who wears the white robes, they tie their mouth. Okay? Digambars are the one who comes eternality with their original body. Okay? So they go ahead with the natural elements outside. Now natural elements, if you go towards the summer, it's too hot. In winter, it's too cool. So one wing went towards the south in search of the food. Okay? And they became the Digambars. Okay? Shvetambars were there in the north. Now why did Shvetambars were there in the north and the white dresses, they got it? Because as soon as one of the wing under the leadership of Bhadrabahu, Bhadrabahu moved towards the south with his followers in the Jainism. So there were certain rules, 13 set of books were written when they were there in the Bihar for Jainism. And when Bhadrabahu went towards the south and found the Bahubali, so north mein, they themselves had a meeting and finally declared that out of these 13 chapters, let's delete 2 chapters, क्योंकि बहुत harsh है, क्योंकि अपने पास खाने के लिए खाना नहीं है. And how do we do live? They have relaxed the rules. The first set of rules is चलो कपड़ा पहन लेते हैं. ठीक है? Second set of rule is that let's relax ourselves, the rules and regulations. Mean we are not supposed to eat anything by accidental. If some fly goes into your mouth, it will be a dangerous activity. So that's why close. Now the rules and regulations were little relaxed. After 2.5-3 years, when Bhadrabahu came back, in the same way he went back, he got surprised. अरे यार, यहाँ पे तो सारे बदल गया. अब हम लोग क्या करें? That's when the sects got divided and the rulers and their beliefs got divided. Is it not a geographical reason for them to move away from that place? Yes, drought. And Jain, you look into the Buddhism. Buddhism also, the terrain and topography which was there, maximum of 15 days travel which was there, that constrained the Buddhism. The day when they relaxed that, chalo, let's not go for the 15-day practices, then the Buddhism went long and long and long. Because very easy religion, Buddha says 4 things, only 4 things. That is, he found out the true cause of the problem of your life. He said, life is full of problems, and the cause of problems is, it's not desire, it's the zeal, excess of desire. Your desire is what? IAS बनना है. यही तो है ना? The root cause of the desire is your problem. Desire will get you problems. But if you excessively desire, that is zeal, and the zeal will be the final problem that you are going to face. And to overcome these problems, you need to follow, yes, control the desire, or Ashtanga Marga. Matlab, 8-fold path. Now this 8-fold path is that chori nahi karna hai. That means it is you should not go for theft. You need to have good knowledge, respecting others. 8-fold path is nothing but 8 noble virtues that you need to have. Right? If you have that 8 virtues with you, and then if you have the control on your mind in the name of intelligence or emotional intelligence, that is nothing but Buddhism. And everyone liked this. No rituals. No rituals at all. Buddha never believed in rituals. But he was against women. That's why women is less in Buddhism. Why against women? Only in the later half that women came into the picture. Okay? Malab, you can also criticize Buddha on this when you are writing essays on women. The greatest religious leader or the founder was against the woman in the beginning, and later when he realized that women should be integral part of this religion, that's when the religion grew more wider and reached to the larger areas. So, ये सारे geographically related है. और बाहुबली का statue you might have seen in Karnataka. You might have come across this statue, right? And different rulers followed different paths. Shravana Belagola. Only Prabhas is there here. This is Digambara. Naked, right? Bahubali, he is one of the ruler. Now who is this ruler? Chandragupta Maurya, suna hoga. Maurya. See, in the Mauryas, the later half of the Mauryas followed this. And Ashoka, who is Ashoka's father? Bimbisara is father or son? Who is the founder of the Maurya's dynasty? Chandragupta Maurya. Chandragupta Maurya followed Jainism, and then later Ashoka followed Buddhism. Okay? Caves, like that. This Bahubali is one of the religious leader who is given the status of the Jaina. Jaina is the ruler. And then every year you go, this is the tenets of Jainism. Large number of Jain go into this area and they pray. But you go to northern part of the area, it is white color dresses and all they wear. It is because the weather is little harsh in the north, summers and winters. So that's how. Geography में ना GS में कुछ ऐसे questions पूछा जाता है. You can use this in essays content. Always try to bring the geographical perspective in essays or else writing answers. It will blow the examiner's mind to give you that 1 to 2 marks extra. वही चाहिए हमें. 7 questions in geography, 7 into 2, 14 marks. Now 14 marks extra will directly put you from IPS to IAS. Or else if you are getting somewhere in the AFHQ में अगर आपका rank है, from there directly you will be brought into IAAS, ICLS. So try to, while reading NCERTs or so, that's why I always ask while reading geography, take time, sit back, relax, read NCERTs, and while reading newspapers, try to apply the content that is there. So points and all, it will flow easily. Okay. I think I've spent enough time here. Now come back. The northern plains. So this deep valley which is there, here the river started to flow and this river started to fill. Not just one river. How many rivers are there? Just go and look into. You open your atlas, you'll come across the major rivers. See. Find out the rivers here. 1. Ganga. ठीक है, गंगा का ट्रिब्यूटरीज देखो. रामगंगा, गोमती, गगरा, ठीक है, गंडक, कोसी, right? So all these rivers plus Yamuna, as well as the multiple small rivers which are moving towards the north. Now these rivers started to get filled, the deep valleys which are there. All these deep valleys were filled later, and then you call this area as northern plains. ये जो northern plains है, see, if you have a river here, the places next to the river will have X soil, and the places far away from the river will have Y type of soil. ठीक है? So, I'll try to show you a small image. There are different names that are given to the northern plains. The northern plains can be called as 1. From west to east, look here, it is just on the basis of the name of the river. ठीक है? 1. Sutlej river is there. This is called as Sutlej Yamuna plain. Ganga river है तो Ganga plain. Or else, let's simply call this as the great northern plains. And Brahmaputra river is there. So this part of the area is filled by the Brahmaputra river. In totality, 2000 meters deep valley got filled with the deposits, and finally the river is moving in this part of the area. Right? Now, there are some land masses with different names, and each of this has different soil. Look, if this is the river moving out of the board, ठीक है? When I was a student, I used to get a lot of confusion. Yaar, diagrams used to be like this. How is that a river is able to present here, but where is it? It is all about how you view it. That becomes easy. So, see, Himalayas, there are many rivers that are there. These rivers, they come and then they flow. Maybe here, this is how they are moving out of the board. You have to imagine the diagram like this. A river, while it is coming from the mountains, will it be faster or slower? Faster. That means major deposits which are there, they get and deposited. The rocks which are there, they get deposited here. See, the height of the rocks is so big. It can be as big as the size of this room. Okay? 15 feet, 10 feet, 6 feet. Like that, big rocks are there. They are called boulders. Immediately next to the Shivaliks or lesser Himalayas, the big boulders get deposited here. Here, the river which is there, it is actually flowing at a lower height. River can be narrow. Usually until here the river is narrow. And the river, if you are looking from far away place, it feels that there is no river there, only boulders. Maybe you watch it from 1 kilometer or 2 kilometer. Have you ever gone to Rishikesh? Rishikesh or any northern part of area. There you will find as if there is no river, but only when you go into the nearby area, then you will find a river. Right? It feels like the river is absent. Why? Because the size of the boulders are bigger and the river flows within these boulders. So, this region is called as Babbar. B-H-A-B-A-R. Now, this Babbar seems to be absent river. The river seems to be absent here. It only seems to be the river is absent here. Seems to have an absence of the river. Why? Because river is flowing at a lower height and the size of the boulders are bigger. Now, yes, rocks को cut करके flow करता है. ठीक है? The power of a river is very strong. ठीक है? You can't even imagine what does the river can do. River can wash away city. River can simply move as big as the size of this classroom boulder with an ease. ठीक है? That is the power of a river. Flooding is very dangerous. You cannot predict the flow of a river. Highest energy is present in that. Next. Once the heavier materials are deposited here, the next area where the river moves and it expands little wider. Now the river is moving little narrow and the river expands to be wider. And here is the place where the water availability is good and soil, मिट्टी जो है ना यहाँ पे deposit होता है. When the deposition of the sand takes place or soil takes place, don't you think vegetation will be there? Yes. So this Terai region, here you will have good trees, good mosquitoes, good tigers. Jim Corbett National Park. Anyone been there? Uttarakhand area? That is part of this Terai region or Nepal. Okay, south of Bihar and Nepal boundary. This is called as Terai region. Terai region, here vegetation is good and leaf litter will be there. This is also part of the northern plains. And then comes the river. Okay. So if suppose this is the valley of the river and imagine the valley of the river, next year there was flooding. If there is flooding, the river will start to deposit its sediments above the floodplains. I mean to say, if suppose this is flooding, let's imagine this is a river. The river is flowing outward like this, right? If there is a flooding, what happens? The river flows outward also, or else now you can understand it easily. ठीक है? If suppose the river overflows, don't you think the water will be flowing in this part of the area also? And while the river is moving, don't you think this part of the area, whenever there was flooding, there will be depositions of the sand here? Okay? And you'll have depositions of the sand here also. Right? When there is an overflow of the river. So, some years, above the floodplain, if the river is moving, lot of depositions come and settle on either sides. Now, the soil that is formed will stay back, and the river water will go back. So, the soil that is formed here is given a name, and this part of the soil we call it as, yes, alluvial soil, no doubt, old alluvial. This part of the soil which is called as new alluvial. There is old alluvial soil and new alluvial soil. Now what is old alluvial soil? Old alluvial soil is a soil which is formed here. Malab, this is all old alluvial soil. But next to the river, every year new soil is being formed here, just next to the river valley. Now don't just think that river in the sense, river है तो कम से कम 8 से 10 किलोमीटर तक flooding हो सकता है. Right? Next to the river, if a soil is formed, that is called as new alluvial soil. Far away from the river, that is called as old alluvial soil. And the distance can be from here, the river distance can be Kadar, maybe 1 kilometer from the river. And this distance can be 8 to 10 kilometers. 8 to 10 kilometers. So, this is called as Bangar. Bangar is considered to be an old alluvial. Kadar is new alluvial. And Terai, right? So Terai, you have good vegetation here. Terai is full of swampy, marshy areas, mosquitoes, diseases. Okay. Nepal, Madesi area. So these are northern plains. Now these northern plains have multiple names. If you look how you are supposed to watch this, you are supposed to watch like this. Himalayas are there. Karakoram, Ladakh, Zanskar. Then Greater Himalayas, Lesser Himalayas, Shivaliks. South of Shivaliks, the first landform that you will get is Babbar. Babbar में बड़े बड़े boulder है. Can you go for plantations here? No. Next is Terai region. You can go for cultivations, trees, water availability is there. But it is the least developed areas here because of the diseases that are there. And good, decent rainfall will be there. And species of tigers can be present here. Best example, Jim Corbett area. Next of this, wherever you find river, that river, you have to watch this in the cross-sectional profile. It is like this. Try to watch in a cross-sectional area, like this. Shivalik Hills, Babbar, Terai region. Then, if a river is flowing like this, okay? Just imagine, next to the river, you will find which soil? Far away from this, you will find an X soil, and then the new soil is, this is your newly formed soil, and this is your newly formed soil. This is your Kadar, and this is your Bangar. Got? Samajh mein aaya? That means the river which I have shown, it should be imagined like this. From here, if the river is coming, you should be imagining that this is Bangar, Terai, then Babbar and Kadar. Bangar and Kadar, sorry, not Babbar. Clear? This is what is northern plains. इस northern plains को भी पंजाब में पंजाब plains कहाँ आ गया? ठीक है? बंगाल में बंगाल plains, उत्तराखंड there are no plains area, Uttar Pradesh, Western UP plains, Eastern UP, or else another way is to tell upper Ganga plains, lower Ganga plains. Now go and identify river Ganga. Look, this is how Ganga flows, right? This is how your Ganga is flowing. Open the main physical map, you will find. Did you find Ganga river? See, Ganga from west to east. This is west of Ganga and this is east of Ganga. ठीक है? And here, the height of the, here you find the mountains to be of taller. So, this part of the area is called as Upper Ganga. And this is called as Middle Ganga. And this region is called as Lower Ganga. ठीक है? Can I divide like this? Upper Ganga, Middle Ganga and Lower Ganga. Likewise, can I also divide Sutlej, which is coming from the north, Upper Sutlej, Middle Sutlej and Lower Sutlej, Upper Indus, Middle Indus and Lower Indus. Now it depends on how you are categorizing that river. That's it. ठीक है? And a river has stages. River can be in the young stage, youthful stage and matured stage. So, the story of a river that we'll discuss little tomorrow in the later half. But now you understood? You should not be confusing with Kadar, Babar, Terai, Bangar and with the Upper Ganga, Middle Ganga and Lower Ganga. See, in the Middle Ganga also you can have the northern part of the area is Terai. Next to the Terai, what do you find? This is old one, Bangar, and then this is new soil, Kadar. So Kadar width is 8 to 10 kilometers. Sorry, Kadar is 1 to 2 kilometers. Bangar is near about 10 to 15 kilometers. And Terai region, the width it can go up to near about 30 to 40 kilometers width. Depth 2000 meters, 500 meters, 700 meters. ठीक है, 500 meters तक मिट्टी जा सकता है. Krishna Godavari is a very old river, very old in the sense the great grandfather or grandmother of the Ganga. ठीक है? So you cannot compare the river Ganga with Godavari. Maybe you can compare Ganga with Yamuna, Ganga with Indus. These are Himalayan rivers. Now the river Godavari, Krishna, they are very old. The older characteristics of the river are different from the younger characteristics. That we'll discuss tomorrow. ठीक है? Don't, please just remind me that the river stages पढ़ाना है आपको. I'll explain that. Say it loud. हाँ, मार्कंडा स्ट्रीम है. मैपिंग में पढ़ लेंगे इसका, क्योंकि you need to go into little more detail. We might distract. ठीक है? So Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, you might have heard Triveni Sangamam, where three major rivers come and meet. वो कभी होता नहीं है. ठीक है? It is only in the mythology. Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, the river name Saraswati is no longer present. It is only there in the books and stories. Maybe the remnants of that river we still have in the name of Gaggar. ठीक है? Assam plains also comes under the northern plains itself. ब्रह्मपुत्र ने बनाया वो. जैसे ये गंगा plains है. Likewise, Brahmaputra will have Brahmaputra plains. So let me show you how the northeastern plains will be there. Brahmaputra also From here the river comes and merges with Ganga. This is nothing but your Ganga only, no? So wherever that river flows, next to that river, it has created a plain area. Tomorrow you will understand this concept in little more detail, because river has stages. I'll explain that stages tomorrow. Okay? River can be in the young stage, youthful stage, and matured stage. A river of Ganga at Varanasi, it is different. The river in the northern part, at the origin, it is different. And the river at Rishikesh is different. Because in the northern, where the origin takes place, it is in the very youthful stage, very young stage. Matured stage and old stages में characteristics different होता है. See, a river which is there, in the youthful stage, the shape of the river will be like this. The water is flowing outward like this. Whereas a river in the matured stage, it will be like this. Right? It is U-shaped. Whereas it is V-shaped. A river in the old stages, it will be like this. Okay? Very like this. River is very wide. Look here. No. Lateral cutting. Tomorrow I'll explain. So look at this. River is flowing at a lower rate, and then boulders are there. If a person is moving, watching from the far away area, it feels that this is how it is. This is Babbar area. ठीक है, BHA be here. But the same river Ganga, the width of the river can be 2 to 3 kilometers wide. Now, at this place, hardly you can make 3 long jumps and cross it. Okay? But here, swim for half an hour, you won't get out. That is the width. Here, it is coming towards the older stages. The river here is young and youthful. यहाँ पे river का काम क्या है? खोदना. मिट्टी खोदो, make the valley deeper and deeper, whereas the river at this place is make depositions. एक river का multiple stages हो सकता है. Likewise, you go to the rivers of Godavari, they are all in this stage. Old rivers, right? कभी ना कभी गंगा भी इस stages पे reach होगा, हिमालयास को Aravallis बनाएगा. ठीक है, it's not just the role of Ganga, it's the role of exogenetic forces like rainfall, landslides, earthquakes, all together act over thousands and thousands of years. There will be a fine day when Himachal Pradesh will also have a fine fertile plantations that can be done, like rice cultivations can be seen there. But it will take time. शायद हम नहीं रहेंगे, but the exogenetic forces will take place there. You have to imagine your northeast like this. Plain area in between and hills all around. Suppose in climatology we have studied, if the clouds are moving, imagine these are clouds which are advancing in this region. What do they do first? They go and hit here, mountains. Now one set of clouds, what do? Is they follow the path of Brahmaputra and they enter here, they get trapped. Because the height of the Himalayas is increasing. Now cloud, as soon as it rises, what happens? rainfall. So this is one area. Look here. You have northeast monsoon also. You have southwest monsoon also. This region. Now look at these mountains. It will have a double dhamaka. One from the south, it will block them and give the rainfall here. One from the northeast, it will block them and give the rainfall here. That's why not just the monsoonal rainfall, even the local evaporations that take place of Brahmaputra, they come and they shed their rainfall here. And this becomes the wettest region of the world with 1400 centimeters of the rainfall annually, or average rainfall is more than 1000 centimeters. That is nothing but your Mawsynram and Chirapunji. सुना होगा Mawsynram, Chirapunji. यहाँ पर 1000+ centimeters of rainfall. That means every day 3 centimeters of rainfall. That is the average. फिर, in spite of such huge amount of rainfalls, this region is designated as drought-prone area. Why? क्योंकि अगर इतना ज्यादा बारिश हो रहा है, if such heavy rainfall, will your soil be there? It will get washed away. This is called as a drought-prone area because the soil moisture, the soil could not hold moisture, and all the rocks are exposed. Only the age-old trees, very old trees are surviving there. Waterfalls hota hai yahan par. You might have come across Meghalaya. Meghalaya means it is full of beautiful clouds and rock, the waterfalls. So this is the place where you will have it. Why? Because of the topography. Right? So if someone has to go out, always they have to carry their umbrellas. Now what kind of vegetations will you go for there if all rain? Plantations you will go. Because once for 1 or 2 years you have to take care. After that it will take care of you. That is how the plantation crops are. No, disaster management we have good principles. Drainage system is well built here. Disaster management can be done. The problem here is for earthquakes. Northeast area, this area is famous for earthquakes. I'll explain in the disaster management. Okay? All the plates collide here. I know this is too much of information for today, but the handout that I gave you is more than enough for even for your exams. Ratta marna ya, imbibe that into your blood. Right? At least when you open, you should be having a clarity. In your prelims from this particular class itself, 6 marks will come every year. Just alone, this 2.5 hours of class which we had, you can expect 6 marks from this class. Very good number of questions will be there. Maybe the tributaries of Ganga, that we'll discuss in the further time. See, Ganga has its tributaries like this: Gomti, Gagra, Gandak, Kosi, Ram Ganga, Gomti, Gagra, Gandak, Kosi, ऐसे. So I'll tell you some mnemonics as well, how to remember that. Ram Ganga, Gagra, Gomti, Gandak, Kosi. राम जाने गोमती का गगरा गंदा कैसे हो गया. So they have pure factual content that is there. We'll stop here and we'll work tomorrow. थोड़ा मैपिंग देख के आना. Please work on some maps. ठीक है? We'll discuss in tomorrow's class in a detailed manner. Because we'll do it later. ठीक है? Thank you online. Please try to work upon the maps. Okay.